close to my heart and my research. I define extreme psychology is where we are placed in situations where we have unexpectedly found ourselves. So, of course, my interest is space psychology, but I found through personal exploration of my own cognitive processing is what I was interested in, is how people find solutions in very time critical and safety critical situations. So hence I jumped from airplanes, perfectly flying airplanes, and see how my mind works and what was happening, and watching, observing my colleagues and flying information, skydiving sort of as a jointly, and watching how the beginners, who are just trying to learn and explore this unique sport, would be sitting right opposite me, and we would be clutching our knees, and a lot of them, their teeth together, and you can even hear the teeth shattering as the plane was taking off and the cabin, the door is open completely. And I don't know, I was trying to figure out why these people are doing this to themselves when they're absolutely terrified in their exterior and still want to do it. I have queried many of my skydiving colleagues, so why would they do that if they, absolutely concerned, in some way? Because if you're so nervous that your jaws you're unable to control it, that something about the perseverance, why do you put yourself through it? This is so challenging. And some were doing it as a bet. Some wanted to find out what they're like in extreme environments. Some were trying to prove something to themselves. And some were also, had a little bit of everything. And I wanted to find out, can I felt like what happens, I wanted to know what happens with the time factor, because I always feel that the thoughts are faster than the time that you can explain them in that period. And I've experienced that during, landing an airplane, in unusual situations, finding an emergency landing spot as I was learning to fly in the day and night. And then what happens is that there is some sort of expertise after a while that comes together, that you just know what to do. And I went to study that in how to transfer rapidly expertise from an expert to an expert. Because what I found is that, especially in space domain as well, we have astronauts who have extreme specialties, if you wish, or very specialized knowledge in their field. And then they come back and it's not always captured or not useful for the next mission, or they don't have a suitable way of transfer. And I wanted to know how to do that. And part of my work was trying to understand what do these experts know that makes them experts. And I was using a technique that extreme psychology is.
I'm laughing because as you described that initial skydiving experience, you pretty much described my very first skydiving experience. I thought I'd get the operational experience, and I didn't know that I had no fear of heights up until that point. And it wasn't until I was hanging outside the airplane door that I realized I had no fear of heights, but I had a fear of jumping from heights. So that was kind of the realization I had to come through. So, and for those of you who don't know, Dr. Whiteley is a champion skydiver. So she knows her stuff. I want to touch on something that you were talking about in the second portion of your response, Dr. Whiteley. You kind of talked about predictors of pre-verbal, expressing how you know what you know. Are you looking at any technologies or biometrics that come along with that, like heart rate variability, galvanic skin response? And Dr. Bucky, I'd invite you to also chime in if if you have any insights on that. Is that any? Have you come across that in your work and research?